Thank you for doing ew, by the way.
Ew. I had so much anxiety about that. This is how serious I take acting.
Yeah.
I was trying to channel my
Inner
little girl.
Wow.
Yesterday, because I wanted to do this right.
Well,
and I was watching
you did a good job with the beard. I mean, yeah, that really
It was like the beard was working against me, the tattoos.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It was so fun to see you in the hallway rehearsing when we came to rehearsal. It's just not something you see every day.
I really wanted to do it right. And
You nailed it, buddy. You nailed it, yo.
So nervous.
No, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. You always come to play on our show, and I respect that, Aldo. I won't forget. I appreciate that, buddy.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about this. We had Millie Bobby Brown on the show last night, who we love, and her dog was also here. Yeah. Winnie, who was really cute, and she came up. And I heard that Millie is the reason that you have one of your dogs.
Yeah.
Is that true? How did that happen?
Yeah, so Chris Pratt was on a film with her, and he I guess, got wind of Tallulah, and he was working with Millie, and he got wind of Tallulah, and he hit me up. He said, I know that you're a fan of this breed, and my co-star is trying to adopt her out. And I said, oh, sorry, man. I've already got 3. And I just kept looking at her picture, and I just like fell in love with her. So anyway, I said, yeah, I'd love to adopt her. And he said, well, let me hook you up with my co-star, Millie. And I said, wait a minute, Millie Bobby Brown? And he said, yeah. I was like, no way.
So cool, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I like telling people this story. And it sounds weird, like it sounds weird to me when I say like Chris Pratt, Chris Pratt hit me up, and I got my dog, from Millie Bobby Brown. I sound like super Hollywood.
No, but that's the truth.
But it's, yeah.
But you saw this photo. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
And so then what happened?
And that's Tallulah. So I hit Millie up and I said, look, I'm on a film, but I'll be home next week, and I'll get on a plane as soon as I can. She said, don't worry about it. I'll have someone drop her off. So literally the day I got home, I was overseas in Rome. I got home, and I was there, and I waited, and these 2 guys showed up like in the middle of the night, just like around midnight. They're just there, and they're like all sweaty, and I'm like, man, you guys want to rest? You want to stay over? You want something to eat? Like, no, we got more drop-offs. So, yeah, they drove her down from Atlanta and dropped her off, and I took her, and she's been with me since.
Did you sign any papers or anything?
No papers, nothing. I thought they'd have, like, paperwork.
So were you sure it was Millie Bobby Brown you talked to?
Yeah, because
Have you ever met her?
I've never met her in person, no.
I think you could have gotten catfished. This is by someone adopting a dog. But either way, Tallulah, and did she come with the name, or did you name her?
So Millie named her Tallulah, and I just thought it was so special that Millie named her, so we kept her name. And we also adopted her, so my ex-wife adopted her little sister.
Is that right?
So we have Tallulah and Delilah.
Oh my God, yeah. Buddy, congrats on that. I got to congratulate you on Dune 2, by the way. Before I get into that, is it true I just heard you got a brown belt in jiu-jitsu?
I did, yeah.
So explain how this works to me.
So how it worked? Well, first I have to tell you that I got my purple belt in 2014.
Have you always done jiu-jitsu?
I've done it, God, since 2010 I started. But I was an amateur wrestler before I was a professional wrestler. Okay. So grappling was kind of my thing. I was super comfortable with, and I started jiu-jitsu back in 2010 with Cesar Gracie, and I trained. But it was just a thing of consistency. And with me, when my film career took off, I just wasn't able to train. So I had put on a lot of weight, like 60 pounds for a film called Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think you were here for that.
Yeah.
I love that. M. Night Shyamalan.
And so I was trying to shed that weight. So when I went over to Dune, I took a buddy of mine who was also he's a Gracie black belt, and I took him over to Budapest to train with me. And so I was training to lose weight. I just wanted to lose weight. But then I figured I was consistent in my training. I might as well keep training until I get promoted. And so I trained for about 6 months straight. And I got promoted to brown belt, and then I abruptly took some more time off.
Yeah, you were in the little time off. Let's talk about Dune Part 2. Congratulations, this is going to be a big movie this weekend, and the reviews have been outstanding.
It's a masterpiece, man.
It really is. It's unbelievable, and you get to work with an incredible cast.
Incredible.
I mean, obviously Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Javier Bardem. I mean, the whole. It's so many people. You go, this is crazy.
Again, I feel like super Hollywood saying this.
No, but why not? Me too. But I have to say it because it happens. I saw the movie. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. And how do you work with when you got Dune Part 1? Do you go like, this is a cool thing. I didn't think I'd ever do this.
It was weird, man. I was actually, I was on a film. And, I had to work really hard to get to work with Denny the first time in Blade Runner 2049. Like, I had to audition and screen test and makeup test and really win him over, because the first time I met him for that role, he was like, you know, I'm sorry, but you're just all wrong for this role. But the producers wanted me, but they didn't want to try to force Denny into this. So I kept like test after test after test until I finally like won his approval and he hired me. And then for Dune, we had been tracking it because we knew it was going to happen and I wanted to be a part of it. But I didn't want to hit Denny up and ask him personally because I'm just not that guy. So I was on another film and he actually called me. And he said, hey, I'm doing this film, like I'm not supposed to know what it is. I'm doing this film.
You're like, oh, what's it about?
I have this part.
Talk to me.
And I'm like dying inside, it's like sweating. And he said, I have this part. And the character is the Beast Rabban. And I knew exactly who he was.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you would really love you to come play this part. And I was like, I literally walked around in circles. I was on the phone walking around in circles because I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like so emotional and so taken aback.
But you can't let him know that.
I did.
You did?
I ain't afraid.
That's good.
I am that guy. Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I love somebody, I tell them I love them. I don't hold back. And if something means something to me, I let them know. Like, this is a big deal to me. This is very validating to me.
You did it. You hit a home run in that. And it's good that you do that. And now here you are, Dune Part 2, and everyone's gonna go see it this weekend.
Screaming like a maniac.
Oh, I love it. Good. I'm gonna walk around in circles too. I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Dave Bautista in Dune Part 2. Take a look at this.
How much? We lost 80% of our last crop. My Lord Rabban, you should not leave the security perimeter. Security perimeter? The rats are inside. The Fremen demon might be with them. I hope so. We're tracking them, my lord. Today, Wadib dies.
Whoa! Dave Bautista, everyone! Dune Part 2 is in theaters and IMAX today. Jesse Tyler Ferguson joins us after the break. Stick around, it's fun.